Hey everyone, Dan Ludeman here with Ludeman Productions. It has certainly been a while since I've last been on camera doing a review. Thank you so much for your patience. I wanted to post this because I recently came across a camera I think everyone should know about, and that is the amazing little camera, the Zcam E2. Now, since you guys had a lot of questions, I wanted to do a quick short review of my experiences so far. This won't be a huge in-depth review, just a quick summary of its perks, features, and footage I have shot on it. In the short time I've had it, I've gotten to take it to some pretty cool and contrasting environments. I filmed out with it in Cancun, Mexico, as well as my home state of South Dakota. And in that short time period in South Dakota, it rained, snowed, and was also a beautiful sunny 72 degrees. The temperature was all over the place. It was pretty wild. My first impressions when I took this out of the box was, wow, this thing is so small. In fact, I was almost skeptical on how it would deliver. I mean, how do they pack all that tech into that tiny little box? It's pretty incredible. Just for reference on how small this thing is, here is a GoPro 4. Now, here is the Zcam. I mean, that is a crazy size comparison. Not only is its small size impressive, so are some of its specs. Coming in at about $2,000, the Zcam E2 can shoot 4K at 120 frames per second, all 10-bit. It can also do 240 frames per second in HD. Zcam also advertises 13 stops of dynamic range, 16 with WDR mode enabled. The E2 offers a nice variety of codecs, including ProRes, H.264, and H.265. The camera comes equipped with the CFast slot, HDMI out, 10-pin LEMO sync, 4-pin LEMO power, 3.5mm audio jacks, a LAN connection, Wi-Fi, and a USB-C port. And yes, the USB-C port can be used with the newer SSDs offered by companies such as Samsung, Angelbird, and as some of you may know, these SSDs will save you a ton of money in storage, especially compared to the more expensive CFast cards. I myself am currently using the 1TB Samsung T5 along with this amazing little handle from SmallRig. I'm also using their custom cage made for the E2 along with their monitor mount. I may be a bit of a fanboy if you can't tell. SmallRig really does make some amazing products at an affordable price. You should check them out. So I do still need to do a little bit of cleaning up with my rig. Ideally, I'd have an HDMI lock along with some nice right-angled HDMIs, and a new USB-C cable would be nice, something maybe a little shorter. Moving on, the E2 uses a Micro Four Thirds sensor. This offers users a ton of lens choices and adapter options. I, for one, have been using a Metabone Speed Booster XL exclusively with my Zcam, along with Canon glass. If you come from the world of the GH5, this camera sensor should seem somewhat familiar. Now here is the really exciting thing about this company. Zcam is constantly making improvements on their cameras. They have a Facebook page dedicated to providing users with daily updates, upcoming firmware, testing of their future cameras, you name it. In fact, as I was filming this, Keen-sun, the CEO of Zcam, just announced new firmware for the E2 that will now enable 4K at 160 frames per second. That is just amazing. This company makes waiting for firmware updates very, very exciting. God, that makes me sound like such a nerd. In terms of the image the camera produces, it definitely packs a punch. So far, I've only been shooting in Z-Log 2. The colors have really been wonderful to work with. After coming from the world of Sony and Blackmagic, skin tones have been taking me some getting used to with this camera. They're just a little bit warmer than I'm used to, but that is very easily corrected in post, especially having that 10-bit image to work with. Like I said, overall the color is wonderful to work with, and having that 10-bit image allows you for some great flexibility in post. You can push the footage really far if you've exposed your image properly. I've primarily been shooting in ProRes, however, I started playing around with the H.265 codec, and I must say I am very, very impressed. It's really hard to notice a difference between the two, especially after you upload it to places like Facebook, YouTube, and they do their own compression on the image. Now for exposing this camera, I always try to save my highlights when I can. The histogram and false color on my Portkeys monitor have worked great for exposing. Since owning this camera, I've also made my own LUT so I can get a better idea of what my image will look like after grading. That also helps me a ton with exposure as well. This monitor is a really great value. It was a $280, 1500 nit. It has LUTs, scopes, false color. The link is in the description. This camera also takes the very popular Sony NP batteries. These batteries come in a variety of sizes and are very affordable. In terms of ergonomics and button layouts, it's not bad at all. The buttons have a nice grip and texture to them. You have customizable buttons along the side, which is a nice and very much needed feature. The menu system is super simple to use and is easy to navigate, especially coming from the world of Sony. This menu system is so refreshing. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I know there are a few things I may not have gone over, so if you have questions, be sure to drop it in the comments and I'll do my best to reply when I can. We plan on rolling out a lot more review videos this year, so be sure to toss us a sub if you want the latest and greatest. We'll be doing reviews on lights, gimbals, general tips and tricks, and maybe, yes, just maybe, a color grading tutorial. I know you guys have been asking for that. If you are interested in purchasing this LUT or any of our other LUTs, let us know in the comment section and we'll make it available for purchase or download on our website. If you're planning on picking up any camera gear, be sure to use the links in the description below. Each click and purchase with those links helps keep our channel up, so thank you very much in advance. Thank you guys again for watching, and we will see you in the next video.